Hi ladies, my name is Erin Hennessy. I am a marketing and branding professional. Miss Tanya had reached out to me and asked that I put together a video for all of you to give you a little insight to branding and marketing, and I am so happy to do so. Before I dive in, I wanted to give you a little bit of my past. I started my professional career as a meeting and event planner. About 10 years into doing so, I had realized that the monotony of event planning had really gotten to me and I was no longer using my creative outlets, right? So I decided to kind of do a 180 and I started getting into marketing and branding so I could actually express my creativity, which is a huge part of my life, which has been really rewarding. It was really challenging to find a job at first, given the experience that I did have and trying to find a position that was appropriate. So I actually kind of forged my own path. I set up my own LLC and began consulting on the side. And what I would love to share with you ladies today are some free platforms, some are low-cost platforms of how you can get started and maybe even with just a side hustle. It's a great way to make social media posts, Instagram posts, TikTok videos. I'm happy to walk you through that and I hope you enjoy.
One of the platforms I wanted to show you is SquareSpace. I use SquareSpace quite often to build websites. A great example is the Current Purpose by Design website. The reason why SquareSpace is such a great tool is it's really user intuitive. So it has a lot of drop and drag features. So if you don't have a lot of background on coding, this is a great way to get around that. So I just wanted to walk you through a couple of the features so that you could see how things get made. So if you were to go to a purposebydesign.org, you'll come up to this website. There's a great photo, there's some embedded YouTube videos. But what happens when you want to make a change? Say we wanted to add a button to get people to register for an upcoming webinar. So simply I would just click on one of these plus signs, and it's going to bring me to these different options that I have here. So what I can quickly do is select that I want to add a button. I can name what I want the button to do. Say, register for a webinar. So this button will then get someone to register for the webinar. And then whatever the hyperlink is for the webinar to register, I would type in that URL here. Once I'm done, I'll quickly just hit save. And all of a sudden, it's saved to the page and people can then now click to register. Say we want to update the brand new page for the Elevation video series that we just launched last month. Maybe we just want to add, I don't know, say the PPD logo to the top of this page. We'll simply just click the edit button, and what we'll do is we're just going to hover on this plus button, go to our menu of options, and we just want to say upload an image. And I'm going to add images. It's going to take me directly to my downloaded files. I'll select the PPD logo, and it will slowly load. And it's going to render really big. If we don't want it to be that size, the cool thing about this is we can actually cater and change the way that we want it to look, the way we want it to animate. We can have it to go to the right, have it go to the left. Do we want it to be animated? We can do that as well. Many options here. Another great tool is Canva.com. I use this for all sorts of things. So whether that's a presentation for work, when I was in graduate school, I used it for presentations. You can use it for building out fancy resumes. You can build it for building social media posts. You can use it for blogging, YouTube videos, all sorts of things. So what it does is basically gives you preloaded content that you can then manipulate and make your own. So what do I mean by that? I'm going to walk you through a couple of different things for social media purposes. So what an Instagram story would look like, an Instagram highlight video would look like, and a TikTok background. So say you're interested in building an Instagram story. They have these pre-made templates that you can actually drag and drop. And once they come over here, then you have full power to change it to say what you want it to say. So this happens to be a little bingo card, and I know that that's been super popular, especially at the end of last year, about bingo. So we can honestly change this to whatever we want. So we can make a square be attend a PPD retreat, and then it saves. Or say we want to bring in a logo. So we want to bring in the PPD logo. We just will search for it because we've uploaded it before and bring it into the design. Once it's where we want it to be, we'll position it where it needs to be. We'll save it, and we'll simply just go over here. We'll go to this file here, and we can select whatever file type we want. I would suggest a PNG for an Instagram story, but just select that. We're good there, and then simply download, and the file will begin to prepare and download for you to use. Canva is also a really awesome tool if you want to put together a creative resume. So this is just one of the several templates that they have. But as you can see, there's many we can choose from. So say we like this one, or we continue browsing and we're like, oh my goodness, okay, so there's lots to choose from up here. Let's choose this one instead. The information will be dragged over to this side. So the fact that it's already set up in a professional manner for you, you literally can then just upload whatever photo you have of yourself here and then drag it over. So let's use this photo we have here on file. And let's call this guy Derek Johnson. And let's say that he is Chief of Marketing. Then we would say a little bit about Derek here, fill in his work experience, education, contact information, all that good stuff. And it automatically saves. Up here is the file name, so we could just say Derek Johnson resume. And just like we did before, we'll go to this arrow here to download the file, and we'll want to download it as a PDF. And next thing you know, you have a resume for Derek.
Thank you so much for watching both of those tutorial videos. Before we go, I just wanted to offer a little bit of insight. Most recently with the pandemic that we're experiencing, everyone is experiencing it from different angles. So whether you're a single mom, you live by yourself, you're a mother of 3, whatever your situation may be, perhaps you lost a loved one in the pandemic, perhaps you lost a job, perhaps school was postponed. Whatever your circumstance may be, those are all circumstances that are fully out of your control. But I just wanted to encourage you today that in life, there are so many things that we can take ownership for and be in control of. And I just simply wanted to remind you some of those things that I had just jotted down just yesterday, to be really mindful of the things that I can control in this life. And the first being just your sleep routine. Sleep routines are quite easy to establish. Set a time that you go to bed and set a time that you wake up in the morning. You'll be really surprised if you get that standard 8 hours of sleep every night, how your energy level is super high. The next being how you speak to yourself. So often, I think, especially as women, we cross-compare ourselves to others quite often. And the way that you talk to yourself is really how you then begin to start to feel about yourself. So be really mindful of that. In addition to that, I think it's best that we really take a deep dive and pay more attention to who we're following on social media. Are we following people on social media because they actually bring value to our lives? Or are they actually making us feel some type of way that isn't for the best? Perhaps it's someone from your past that's making you feel less than. Perhaps it's somebody that has a body type that you aspire to be and feel that you'll never have. Be really cognizant of that. Another thing that we can really control is the way that we treat others. I really encourage all of you to be mindful of how you treat others. You can also control the amount of honesty that you want to have in your life. In my life, I believe that honesty is the best policy. And you can definitely control your overall outlook on life. So I just wish you well. I wish that you take these words with wisdom. I hope that if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. And I know Ms. Tanya would be happy to give you my contact information. I wish you all the best and have a good night.